We really got to talk about what just went down at Tennessee State University because the clownery is at an all-time high. So a group of so-called fearless debaters, a bunch of white dudes in MAGA hats, mind you, pulled up to an HBCU talking about they want to debate black students on DEI. Like, for real? That's what we're doing now? Now you already know what time it is. They didn't come to debate. They came to disrupt, to provoke, and to get a reaction they could run back and post online like, look at the angry black mob. But let's be clear. What actually happened is TSU campus police escorted them off the grounds for not following school policy, period. And what gets me is they tried to flip the script like they were the victims, said students were yelling black power and stealing their stuff. But funny enough, none of that shows up in their own footage. Let's be real, you don't walk into a black space like an HBCU uninvited with cameras rolling and a sign saying DEI should be illegal unless you're trying to gaslight and go viral. These dudes came looking for smoke and then cried foul when they got shown the door. TSU students handled it with grace and respect, and the NAACP chapter over there made it crystal clear. This wasn't about free speech, it was about folks trying to disrupt a safe space for black students. So before I show you this footage, I want y'all to watch it with that in mind. Ask yourself, who really came looking for a fight? And what does it say when even just existing in black spaces gets treated like a threat?
Hey, what's up, man? Like, oh, that's a hell. You feel me? Like, it's a crazy day out here. You feel me? Hold up.
So a couple of MAGA guys go and do some bullshit at TSU out there in Tennessee. And then the students go and kind of get them off the campus or whatever. Black folk, I just want y'all to know we've been doing a good job of just minding our fucking business, sitting on the sidelines, enjoying our peace. Don't let them trick you. Young black folk, don't let them trick you. Because that's what they want. Because what's going to happen is they're going to come back. It's going to be more. And eventually, they're going to get the reaction out of y'all that they want. And that's going to be the catalyst they use, to like, y'all, don't fall for the okie doke. Y'all should have just kept on walking, ignored them motherfuckers. Because who going to go over there? If y'all would have ignored them and just laughed, got your 7 laughs, chuckled, and went on about your day, they would have been sitting there looking stupid. But y'all gave them the energy y'all wanted. They probably done posted that content. They think they Charlie Kirk Jr. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because why are they coming to HBCU? Even after the fucking Charlie shit, what they do? Bomb threats at the HBCU. Like, why they keep trying to, they want to get the violent reaction. They want to get the attention. Just leave, ignore you should just, let campus police go and handle them and just walk by. Don't pay no mind to them.
I didn't know that TSU was an HBCU until the night before. He didn't know until they told him on campus.
There is nothing worse than a liar, because if you're a liar, you'll steal, you'll do everything. These guys knew that they were coming to Tennessee State University, which is a historically black college and university. They knew exactly what they were doing. Their goal was to agitate and antagonize those students. But what they did not think was going to happen is that they would be escorted off the campus, because they tried to run roughshod. So now, once the media has gotten a hold of this story, because this is a big story here in Nashville, and it has also made national rounds, especially protecting HBCUs. Now the next message is, well, we didn't know. We didn't know we were there. That is what is wrong with these people. You know, I had all kinds of comments from my previous video, and people were talking about, oh, well, you should be able to debate people, you know, just because you have differences, you should be able to debate. No, these people are liars, okay? They got caught up in their shit. And now it's a problem. They get on the local news and say, we didn't know. And that is some bullshit. They had the wrong intentions. They got caught up in their shit. And now you didn't know. But we don't forget.
A MAGA affiliated group known on social media as the Fearless Tour decided to make a stop at the HBCU, Tennessee State University. Now they came unannounced, uninvited, and unwelcomed to Tennessee State University to try to set up a debate table. They set up their debate table with big signs with inflammatory rhetoric on it, like DEI should be illegal and deport all illegals immediately. Needless to say, this did not go over well with the students in the HBCU, which is basically what they wanted. They wanted some type of incident that they could catch on tape to say that these students were to be feared and they were dangerous and violent and all of that. Well, because that is usually not the case, the students, although clearly not happy in the footage, never laid a hand on the MAGA affiliates. Instead, they called the university staff and police to come and escort them off the premises. Because this MAGA group was not affiliated at all with the Tennessee State University, and they did not ask permission to come there and start a debate with the students, they were promptly asked to leave and escorted off the premises, with a crowd of students and cops peacefully walking them to the door. And I will say that in the footage, it was kind of funny to see them believe their own rhetoric. The MAGA affiliates were escorted out, but they were completely surrounded by black police officers and black students as they went. And one of the MAGA affiliates that had the camera on the entire time would put the camera towards his face, and you could literally see the fear in his face as they're escorting him out. The thing is, the students around him, they weren't even stunting that dude, but he drank his own Kool-Aid and they believed their own rhetoric so much that he was actively uncomfortable. If you are following me on the YT, I will try my best to find a clip at the end of this video, because it was hilarious. But in all honesty, stuff like this is not funny. And they're becoming more and more bold in black spaces, to the point where two men in Mississippi were strange fruited. One of them was a 21-year-old black college student going to school at Delta State University, and the other was a 36-year-old man that they found outside of a Vicksburg casino. In the case of the student, even though he was found in the middle of a courtyard by the pickleball courts, and there is a discrepancy on what state his body was in, the police immediately tried to say that he did that to himself, before coming out a day later saying that the case had some developments, not specifying what those developments were. Mixed information has been coming out about that case since, and the coroner's office is disagreeing with a lot of the information concerning what condition that student's body was in. Naturally, there is a lot of distrust, especially since the police were so quick to come out saying that he had done it to himself, as well as the other 36-year-old found in the same condition on the same day. So civil rights groups have rightfully gotten involved, wanting an actual investigation as to what happened to these two men. And Colin Kaepernick has come forth offering to provide the funds for a third-party autopsy, because two black men being found in trees in Mississippi during a time when the rhetoric against black people has become so bold is starting to not only drum up a lot of memories for people who are still alive when those things used to happen a lot more often, but it is drawing up concerns for people in the black community who are feeling less and less safe. They are always trying to make it seem as if the black community are the ones who are the instigators. They are always trying to make it seem as if the black community are the ones who are violent, the ones who are criminal, who are always committing some type of heinous crimes. And yet, they can never keep themselves out of our spaces. Make that make sense.
I'm so sick of you motherfuckers, I don't even know what to do. Listen, I just watched a little video with the two little motherfucking white boys with the motherfucking red hats on and all this, going on Tennessee State Campus. This the only question I got for y'all. Why is y'all always fucking with us? We ain't fucking with y'all, man. Leave us the fuck alone. Leave us the fuck alone. Y'all always come fucking with us. For no motherfucking apparent reason. None. I'm not going over there with the motherfucking Ku Klux Klan. I ain't going over there right now with a motherfucking Black Panther hat on and telling the motherfucking Ku Klux Klan, let's talk. I don't want to talk to the motherfucking Ku Klux Klan. Y'all always come fucking with us, man. Leave us the fuck alone. And then as soon as some motherfucking happen, you the motherfucking victim. Yeah, it's motherfucking America. Yeah, you got the right to go wherever you want to motherfucking go. But why is you forcing your motherfucking self on us? We don't want to motherfucking talk to you, man. If we did, we'll come motherfucking find you. So motherfucking sick of y'all. Always come fucking with some motherfucking body. Take your ass to the motherfucking University of Wisconsin. Go talk to them. Go to motherfucking the University of Idaho some motherfucking well. Motherfucking premeditated, coming somewhere just to start motherfucking chaos. Just so you can act like a motherfucking victim. Always come fucking with some motherfucking body. Why is it so motherfucking hard for y'all to mind y'all motherfucking business? Leave people the fuck alone, man.
You heard what Plies just said. Leave us alone. We not out here bothering nobody. We minding our own business. And that's real. That's the root of it right there. TSU students weren't out there causing trouble. They were going to class, walking through the yard, hanging out with their people, just being black, brilliant, and unbothered. But somehow, that's still a threat. That's still too much for some folks to handle. See, this ain't just about some dudes with MAGA hats and a camera. This is a pattern, a history, a mindset. We've seen this before. They show up uninvited to our spaces, and when they get checked, they cry victim. It's been like this forever. They throw the first punch, we respond, they play the martyr. Whether it's the civil rights movement, the desegregation of schools, police brutality, or even peaceful protest, black reaction is always framed as the problem, while white provocation gets sanitized. Let's be real. They didn't show up to TSU to spark a dialogue. This wasn't an academic debate. This wasn't about understanding different viewpoints. This was a stunt, a setup, a planned disruption. You don't pull up to an HBCU with cameras and signs saying DEI should be illegal unless your goal is to poke the bear, record the reaction, and use it to feed your base that already sees black empowerment as a threat. And the crazy part, they always act confused when we say, stop coming for us. Like really, why not go to the MAGA rallies and talk about DEI? Why not walk into a PWI and spark a debate on inclusion? I'll tell you why. Because the reaction wouldn't go viral. It wouldn't give them what they're looking for. They come to black spaces because our presence alone is powerful. Our joy, our confidence, our community, it all scares them. And instead of dealing with their own discomfort, they try to provoke us so they can flip the script. But see, HBCUs are sacred ground. They weren't just built for education. They were built for safety, for affirmation, for black excellence to thrive without interruption. These institutions were born because PWIs didn't want us, and now that we've built something for ourselves, with love, culture, and resilience, they want to invade it and call it debate? Nah. We're not gonna let that slide. What's even more frustrating is how the narrative gets twisted. Look at how they tried to say there was a riot. Look at how they painted black students as angry and violent, when in reality, all they did was stand their ground and say, not here, not today, and TSU handled it with class. They didn't overreact. They didn't escalate. They simply followed policy, escorted them off campus, and moved on. But somehow, that still wasn't enough for these clout chasers. Now they're talking about defunding the university, as if that's a reasonable response to being told, you can't break our rules and expect a free platform. So let's really think about what this moment means. This isn't about free speech. This is about power, about control, about the fear of black people organizing, thinking critically, and owning their narrative. Because that's what HBCUs do. They raise up future doctors, teachers, engineers, activists, artists, people who don't just play the game, but change it. That's why they're always under attack. Whether it's through underfunding, policy debates, or social media setups like this one, there's always some new angle to try to diminish what we've built. And we have to call it what it is. This was a digital lynching attempt, not with ropes, but with cameras, clickbait, and false narratives. And it won't be the last time. So what do? We keep telling the truth. We keep protecting our spaces. We keep holding each other down. And most importantly, we stop letting them define our reactions as the problem, while ignoring the constant disrespect that caused it. HBCUs are sacred. Black students are not props. And we are not going to be gaslit by people who show up to antagonize us and then cry wolf when we respond with dignity and pride. So yeah, shout out to the students at TSU. Y'all handled yourselves with poise. Y'all showed the world what it looks like to stand tall without stooping low. And to the so-called fearless debaters, maybe try being fearless enough to walk into a room full of people who actually agree with you and challenge them to do better. But until then, leave us alone, let our kids learn in peace, and respect the spaces that were built for us, by us. If you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you for riding with me. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think this was a setup? What would you have done if this happened on your campus? Go ahead and share this with someone, and subscribe if this message hit home. We're going to keep shining a light on these stories, and we're going to keep protecting Black voices and Black spaces. Stay woke, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.